It's finally here. The Security Breach DLC has finally released its trailer, and right off the bat we can see that Ruin is going to be a hell of a lot scarier. We also get an overwhelming amount of information in that trailer, as well as the classic secrets. So you know the drill, guys, let's just jump straight into this. Here's 10 secrets you may not have seen in the Ruin trailer. We get to play as Vani. Let me slow down real quick. We're obviously playing as an antagonist called Cassie, and she seems to be a friend of Gregory that he knows quite well. But there's a few split-second scenes in the trailer that I need to show you. It happens super fast right at the end. In this scene here, you can see us putting on a mask. And I know it's the underside of it, but it's pretty clear that it's the Vani Mask. I mean, look at those white bunny ears. And then after this for a split second, we also see the inside of the mask. Here we can clearly see that there are some red eyes, and those are like Vani's. And then the final detail that really puts the nail in the coffin. We get a split-second view of what it looks like when the mask is actually on. It's a weird robotic glitchy effect. But if we compare that to what we saw before we put the mask on, you're suddenly able to see in the dark. Your vision becomes a lot more clear, almost like night vision. It also shows us that we're in the ruined version of the daycare, indicated by these clouds. This also probably tells us a little bit about how Vani used to be able to find us so easily in the game. Her mask was giving her visibility perks, which we're making the most of now. But does that mean we find Vani's decapitated head somewhere and we just take that mask off? Well, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Anyway, on to secret detail number 2, it was Glitch Trap all along. Look, it's widely believed and theorized that Vani and Vanessa are the same person, with Vani acting as a sadistic alter ego. Further to this theory, it's believed that her alter ego, Vani, is controlled by Glitch Trap. Glitch Trap being a digital virus version of William Afton, which is a convenient way of making that bozo never disappear. And Glitch Trap is usually seen in the form of a man wearing a cartoonish spring Bonnie costume. Now, I know this image isn't very clear, but you can see that it's a bunny. And on top of all of that, we just put the Vani mask on. So if we believe the theory that Vani was corrupted or controlled by Glitch Trap, and the second we put the mask on he appears, then this jump scare must be Glitch Trap. And you know what these trailers always do, they always put the craziest thing right at the end. So that's why I made it right at the beginning of my video. Don't worry, you can thank me later. Let me know if you have any more ideas about this one, because I think it's still up in the air a little bit. On to detail number 3, the darkness. Late last year, the creators of Security Breach Steelwool had an interview with Game Jolt. In this interview, they said they wanted to make Ruin more dreadful and scary, just like the daycare attendant section and the glam rock endo section. And I would say the main features about those places being so scary was the darkness. And they've definitely emphasized it in this trailer. And this is actually one of my favorite details that shows this. Right at the beginning when we see Cassie going in, we can see the big windows at the front boarded up and papered up. But if we look at the hole that Cassie is jumping in from, we can see that it's in the middle of the day. Even though it's called Five Nights at Freddy's, I think this one is going to be played in the daytime. But the extent to which that they're going to block out light is going to be so extreme that it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's almost like they've got blackout curtains on all of the windows that might bring in lights. We also see endoskeletons in places that we haven't seen before. Maybe, just maybe, they're more comfortable because the Pizzaplex is completely covered in darkness. Anyway, on to detail number 4. Gregory is definitely a bot. And no, I'm not talking about his stupidity. I'm talking about that prolific MatPat theory that he's an animatronic. Honestly, sometimes I think that MatPat is an animatronic as well, but we'll talk about that later. So hear me out. In the trailer, we're given a clear display of the level of decay that the Pizzaplex goes through, all the way to the point where there's even graffiti in the inside. The type of graffiti you see in long-term abandoned facilities. It's clear this isn't taking place the day after the Afton Ending. This is taking place a long time after, at the very least months. Now, you and I both know that humans need food and water to live, and there's a couple of examples of things hiding in the Pizzaplex that are alive that aren't human. Yeah, that's right, the animatronics. My boy Gregory is on that animatronics diet. There's just no way a human could live this long. I mean, there's a chance he's on that Chica diet and he's eating rubbish all day long, but I just don't see it, man. But feel free to push back in the comments below. Anyway, on to detail number 5, new toys. I hope you didn't miss the Faz Watch and Fazer Blaster too much, because we've got ourselves some new toys in this one. Right from the get-go, we see Cassie and Gregory talking. And no, it's not through some telepathy. It's using this toy right here, a Roxanne Wolf walkie-talkie. And then we've got this thingamabob. I still haven't really figured out what it is, but it's got the classic glam rock Freddy colors. But it doesn't look like a toy that they would give to customers. So it must be a toy that's used by the facilities team. It's got a green and red button and this turning knob thingy. On top of that, it's also used as a key or a wrench. I'm not completely sure, but it has the capability to plug into electrical equipment. It's probably going to be used so that we can access some mini games to fix things. Kind of like that wires game in Among Us. You know, get the electricity flowing. I really enjoyed the mechanics of the tools that were used in the initial game, and I'm even more excited to see if there are some tools that we just don't know about yet. Anyway, on to detail number 6, the security camera stations. So we finally know what this thing is. If you go to securitybreachtv.com, you're taken to this. This was being used as a teaser in this previous week before the trailer dropped. It was giving us secret messages when we were hovering over different elements elements in the picture. But the thing was, no one could tell exactly what this tool was. But now the trailer tells us that this is a security camera station. Unlike the main game where we would access our Faz watch to look in the security cameras, now it seems like we actually have to go to a security camera station for us to have any visibility over what those security cameras are seeing. The Faz watch was a way that we could hack into the mainframe from anywhere we were, but now it's the opposite, we have to go to it. A pretty cool detail is that we actually get to see Cassie at one of these stations. It's right before the camera changes off of Monty Golf. She only appears for like a second. Anyway, on to detail number 7, the Afton Ending. The beauty of this trailer is that you get to see pretty much all of the animatronics again, and it almost picks up right where we left off. Monty with no legs, Chica with no mouth, and Roxy with no eyes. But you'll pretty quickly realize that things are a little bit worse for them. They've definitely been through a little bit more, not just your average wear and tear. I mean, with Monty it looks like all of his paint has been melted off, almost like he's been through a fire. Now this might be a little bit of a stretch, but it kind of indicates to me that they went through the Afton Ending. Does that mean the Afton Ending is the canon ending? I mean, sure, it would make sense as to why everything's in ruin, but it would also help us understand why some of the animatronics look like they've been burnt. I mean, look at the daycare attendant's face. It looks like half of it's melted off. But then again, you think you might see a little bit more charring around the place. Maybe Monty had the worst of it because he was stuck in the vents. Anyway, speaking of the animatronics, let's jump on to detail number 8. Where the hell is Freddy? I think I found him. Here he is. If you watch the trailer like a completely normal person and not like me watching frame by frame, you would have thought Freddy wasn't clearly displayed in the trailer, but they sneakily put him in underneath some rubble. You can tell it's him because of the color of his leg plates. He's lying right there on top of a staff bot, and I kind of feel like this further emphasizes the fact that it was the Afton Ending. You know, right in that cutscene you start to see things falling down all around us. So there's a chance he's been stuck like this entire time. But then this begs the question, where the hell is Gregory? Who knows, he might still be inside of his chest, and that's why they're not showing that detail. But we'll find out soon enough, so do not worry, do not worry. Anyway, on to detail number 9, the Cupcake Shop. Now we see a ruined version of the Cupcake Shop twice in the trailer. One over here with that big ass cupcake, and one over here with the swirls on the wall. It's clear that this is a part of the Pizzaplex that we're gonna have to visit as part of the game. But what I find cool about this is that this place was in the original game, because you may have forgotten that the Megaplex was actually huge, and it was a big criticism of the original game. There were quite a few really cool looking areas like the Cupcake Shop that you just didn't need to go to. And if you didn't need to go to it, you probably wouldn't have gone to it, unless you were a secret hunting goblin like me. So does that mean in this DLC we're gonna go to some areas that we didn't have to go to before? I'm sure this will satisfy the completionist inside of everyone. Who knows, the ruining may have uncovered some doors to some places that we didn't even know about. Anyway, on to detail number 10, one of my favorites. Sun and Moon have become one. We get a nice little jump scare from them in the trailer right at the end. But what isn't clear is who is actually jump scaring us. Is it Sun or Moon? We've got a yellow eye and a yellow arm from the Sun, and a red eye and blue arm from the Moon. But we've got one pant leg from the Sun, and the nightcap from the Moon. I'm theorizing that they have lost the ability to interchange between their personalities. This may be a result of the collapse of the Pizzaplex. It may be a malfunction of them being burnt alive in the Afton Ending, or the creepiest one, the sun is starting to bleed through because there's no more sunlight, so it never gets a chance to appear. Anywho, I love this guy, and I love you guys. If I missed any, let me know below. But that's all I've got for now. Make sure to sub or else this'll happen.